So earlier this week, I had what I'm calling an opportunity of misfortune. Unfortunately, I went to update my Steam Deck, which has been running on a Steam Family Beta version of SteamOS for the last couple months. I've been testing that out, sharing games with family. It's great. I do recommend that. Well, it turns out if you don't have a lot of storage left on the actual internal hard drive of your Steam Deck and you go to update the OS, sometimes users experience something that causes them to get stuck in a boot loop. That something happened to me. No fear though, whenever you reboot the Steam Deck, if you hold down the three dots on the right, you actually get an option to revert back to the previous version of SteamOS that was installed on the device. Except in cases where you are low on storage, so portions of that OS have been overwritten. In those cases, you also find yourself in a boot loop. Guess which one of those cases I found myself in? Yeah, the second one. The only option then was for me, or the easiest option at least, was for me to just completely do a reinstall of SteamOS, which I did, got it all up and running, and then the next day I thought, I've kind of wanted to experiment with Windows on the Steam Deck before. I've done that, booting it off of an SD card in the past, and it wasn't a great experience. But now that everything's wiped anyway, and thanks to consoles and handhelds like the ROG Ally or the Lenovo Legion Go, it's way, way more common, way, way more supported to see these tools that make Windows in a handheld form factor even better. So I decided, okay, it's 2024. Let's give it a go. This is what my experience has been like. I am so sorry to interrupt the video you were just watching with that intelligent and extremely handsome YouTuber, but there's something very important that I have to tell you about. And it's Reach Conference happening September 6th and 7th in Orlando, Florida. It's the first one ever, and there are a lot of reasons to be excited about Reach Conference, but probably what's the most exciting is that I'm going to be there. No, I know, settle down. No, for real, if you ever wanted to meet me, chat with me, or hang out in a family-friendly Christian content creator environment with tons, and I mean tons, of other fantastic creators, this is the place you want to be. I'm going to have a link at the top of the description so you can learn more about Reach Conference, what it is, what we've been doing with Alpha USA and the Discord, and alongside other creators for the last 5 months. It's been a great time getting to know you guys, getting closer, and now it's time to celebrate. If you want to learn more about that in this conference that's happening in Orlando, check out the link at the top of the description. It's reachconf.org. And if you're interested from that link, if you're interested in attending, you can get your tickets there. There's still tickets. It's not over. As a matter of fact, I'm giving some away for free for as long as they're available, for as long as they last. When you get your tickets, use code WEBBY, WEBBY, and that'll get you free admission both to Friday's convention and Saturday's convention. Gets you in the door both days, as well as your lunch and dinner for both days. I don't know what all the food's going to be, but I do know Friday night is all you can eat barbecue. You are not going to want to miss this. Reach Conference, September. Use code WEBBY. See you guys there. Okay, so for the most astute among you, you may have already noticed that behind me is Windows, and if you can see the screen of the Steam Deck right here, it also has Windows. As a matter of fact, everything that you see right here is completely powered by the Steam Deck. So that means I did get it to work. I actually didn't have very much trouble at all. Spoiler ahead, but I'm actually maybe convinced right now that the Steam Deck is the best Windows handheld that you can get in 2024 because you can't beat the price. I have the 64 gig LCD model. Super cheap, runs great. This was my experience. Installing Windows is just as much of a pain as it is to install Windows on anything. I downloaded the boot files. I can't remember if I had to do Rufus for this one or not, but I got my boot drive set up, plugged it in, we were off to the races, and by off to the races, I mean we had to wait and wait and wait because it's Windows, and that's what one does when installing Windows. After we got Windows booted, no big deal. Obviously, the screen was turned sideways because if you guys didn't know this, the Steam Deck's display is actually a portrait display that is just shifted to work in a landscape kind of situation. That's an easy fix. You just go into the Windows settings and change that back to landscape. After that, I was lucky enough that my version of Windows, for whatever reason, went ahead and recognized the Wi-Fi drivers that were already there in the BIOS. So I didn't have any Wi-Fi issues. I was able to just open up my web browser, go to the Steam support page, and download the other drivers that I needed for Windows, which I definitely recommend doing if you want to do this yourself. Whether you have an LCD or an OLED model, the drivers are there, but they are different. So make sure you're reading ahead when you do. I didn't do that, and the first time I downloaded the drivers, I downloaded them for the OLED. I don't have the OLED, I have the LCD. So then I had to download them again. Installing the drivers are really simple. It's pretty much as simple as extracting the file, clicking on it, let it do its thing. A lot of them want you to restart the device, but you don't actually have to restart it until everything's installed, so just skip that. After you get everything installed, hit restart, it comes back up, and then, if you think you're ready, you've got a lot of updates that you get to install. These are all very much Windows issues, not necessarily Steam Deck issues. I just want to be completely transparent with you guys, though, if you decide that you maybe want to try this yourself. It's worth it. I really do believe it's worth it, especially for the cost that you have. The Steam Deck right now, you can get these things refurbished around the 256 gig models for like $250 and $300 based on what I saw on Facebook Marketplace today. Refurbished ones are great. Even GameStop are doing refurbished models right now, so it's really easy to get your hand on an LCD Steam Deck. So when you're looking at that cost, it's probably really worth it to just deal with the headache if you're a little bit technologically inclined at all. Now, if that's not you and you're like, technology, brother, then you probably just need to stick with the base Steam. Actually, I still recommend the Steam Deck to you because SteamOS is super user-friendly and great. It's basically a console experience for a PC. You need to just stay with that, especially if you're pretty much only going to play games from your Steam library. Just about everything that you'd want to play is going to work absolutely perfect right out of the box. Just do that. But if you are a little inclined, you can get a lot more mileage out of your Steam Deck with Windows in 2024. Got everything installed, updated, ready to go. The first thing I had to put on here, of course, was a different web browser because, Edge. Got my other web browser up, and then I installed Steam. If you install Steam and leave Steam running in the background, that's pretty much the only thing you need to get the built-in gamepad to function within Windows. Just turn on Force Steam support, and Steam will make the game that you're playing, whatever it may be, interact with the controller or the gamepad that's built in automatically. It basically makes it think that it's an Xbox controller. That's awesome. It does limit you a little bit, say if you wanted to play Game Pass games, which is something I wanted to try, or play something through a different launcher. You can run into issues, so what I recommend is an extension, application, whatever it is, called Handheld Companion. I'll put links to all these things in the description as well in case you guys want to try to do it yourself. Handheld Companion I've used before whenever I tried Windows after I first got my Steam Deck, and I hated it. I don't think it helped much at all. It basically was useless. That is not the way I feel about it currently in 2024. It is so smooth. I was able to map everything to make Windows view my Steam Deck controls as an Xbox, but say I wanted to play PlayStation games or use the PlayStation official remote play app that only supports DualSense controllers or DualShock controllers, well then I can actually just toggle a switch, and now the PC, the computer, thinks that my Steam Deck controls are a DualShock 4, and it's just flawless. I did remap a couple things because it even lets you map the back buttons, and I wanted functionality of those back buttons, but I'm pretty much leaving mine in the Xbox mode. That worked great. And then I set my 3-dot button, instead of being by default the same thing as the Steam button, that's what the default button, they both do the same thing. I disabled the right button, the 3 dots, and I made it so that every time I press it, a quick menu pops up that gives me a few controls. It lets me toggle back between PC, like mouse and keyboard controls and actual controller configurations. It gives me the escape key. It gives me a Windows key, just a couple things that I might need when troubleshooting other games. And I have it set to just start automatically whenever I open Windows. That has been the perfect fix for everything else. The very first thing I did outside of Steam was I checked out Epic Games, because new season of Fortnite, I'm really digging the Gwenpool outfit, so let's do this. Upon first boot up, it played like dog crap. But that is because, if you guys didn't know this, when you install Fortnite, it tries to like give you a beautiful experience. The first and that's great, but not for a handheld. It's 800p, man. So I went into my settings, switched it to performance, lowered a little bit of like the textures, because let's be real, that's the screen. Lowered some of the textures, restarted it, because you have to do a restart whenever you switch to performance mode. After that, Fortnite plays chef's kiss. That's a game you can't actually play on Linux or on Steam OS, because for whatever reason, the anti-cheat that it uses just doesn't support Linux at all. As soon as it identifies Linux, it's like, nope, bad cheater, and it won't let you play. Same goes for a lot of games that use whatever the anti-cheat with the little bear icon is. It's this one right here, whatever that is. Those work now because of Windows. Another thing that I wanted to test out was Game Pass games, because if you guys didn't know, while there is an official supported way to play Game Pass on your Steam Deck. It's only through cloud gaming, and it works very good. But sometimes you just want to play your Steam Deck games on the actual go, portability, not around Wi-Fi, still want to play Crash Bandicoot. Only way to do that is to download them, and the only way to download games or to run the Xbox official Game Pass app is on Windows, because it's not an executable file. It's a WPA, whatever it is. I'll correct that right here if I'm wrong. Basically, it means this only works on Windows. Why use light word when few word do trick? But I have Windows now, so I downloaded it. First thing I downloaded was Crash Bandicoot. It played perfect right out the gate. No issues at all. It immediately knew what the configuration of my controls were. The only thing that was weird, I think I did have to like resize the screen, because it put it in windowed mode, kind of catty-cornered, but that was an easy fix. I just went to my graphic settings, set it to full screen, and we were off to the races. It worked great. I was going to try Lawn Mowing Simulator, and I downloaded it, but I never actually played it, because I decided about halfway through this week that I am actually gonna keep Windows. I think I'm gonna keep Windows on here, but I didn't know that at the beginning. So I have a large SD card that I used for all my games on Steam that I didn't want to completely erase in case I jumped right back to SteamOS. So I used a little 256 gig, and that just isn't enough for the next tests that I wanted to do. And so I went ahead and transferred everything over from one SD card to the other, which took an hour and a half. Oh my gosh. But after I did that, I put it in, we were good to go again. And then I downloaded the thing that everybody, I know, it's not even my favorite game, but everybody's going to want to know. Can you play Call of Duty on it? Yes. I tried two different things. I tried Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. It ran really badly. Even at minimal specs, it ran really badly. Though, to be fair, I only tried it once. I need to try it again, because while I was playing the map, I did keep getting a pop-up in the top right corner saying that the shaders were still compiling. Now that they're compiled, it probably will run great, because the second thing that I tried was Warzone. Warzone very much surprised me. It had a little stutter right at the beginning. It gave me the shader compiling message again, and then after that I didn't get the shader compiling message any longer, and it played just as well as it plays on my Xbox. It was flawless. Now, some of that is probably due to the fact that you can play all the Call of Duties moving forward through the Xbox app, so I didn't have to worry with Battle.net. Didn't even have to download Battle.net and run that secondarily or alongside Xbox, as we've seen with Steam and EA sometimes, where you have to have the EA launcher. Didn't even have to do that. It just plays through the Xbox launcher, which does a lot for, I guess, the resources, allocating resources for the Steam Deck. Ran great. I actually opted to keep it for a little bit longer, even though I'm not a Call of Duty guy, because Call of Duty Handheld is kind of sick. I want to try zombies again. Like it's kind of sick. It's a great way to play. I feel the same way about Fortnite. Like going back to that, I've played Fortnite on my Switch before. Not a great way to play. 30 frames per second. Looks like a kid drew it on the back of a cereal box. It's so bad. Not on the Steam Deck, because it runs super smooth. It's still like not the best graphics, but at least we're at a locked 60. Maybe you could even do more. And get this. Are you ready for the cherry on top? The Steam Deck is just a PC in a handheld form factor. So as you see behind me, it's connected to my monitor. What if I plugged this bad boy into a keyboard and a mouse, gave it power because there's going to be more drain, and tried to play something like Fortnite? Fortnite, as you can tell, was the main thing that I used to test just for time's sake. It takes forever to download things on the Steam Deck because the Wi-Fi card's rough. I recommend a dongle and an Ethernet cable if you really want to download things quickly, because the Wi-Fi card's slow. So I didn't download a lot. I only had a week. Fortnite, back to that. Can I play it and play it well, keyboard and mouse, on the big screen just like I do on my PC? The answer is yes, you can. And I actually did better. I played, but now I feel so bad because the best game I played, an actual Victory Royale, I wasn't recording because I was just trying to test it out and make sure everything was working. I know, boo, clips or it didn't happen. Sorry, I don't have it. What I did record of me playing games, I sucked. Because I tried to hold it where the camera could see, and I would rather hold it closer to my face. I'm giving you excuses, guys. Anyway, sorry about all the footage you've seen. I recognize that I played poorly. Out of all the B-roll that I shot, the best that I played was definitely when I had it connected to the monitor behind me, keyboard and mouse style. It worked fantastic. 10 out of 10. Would play like this again, and actually plan to. That is why this setup exists the way it is. See, I 3D printed this little, I'm just gonna set this to the side. I 3D printed this little base because I can't be bothered. Oop, I hit buttons. I can't be bothered to buy an actual Steam dock. So I just 3D printed my own. It works great. Holds the Steam Deck right here next to my monitor whenever I want to play. Bada bing, bada boom. It can live here. It has its cables and everything that aren't managed well right now because, content, gotta make it. Get that right there. It plays everything through my actual sound system. Everything looks great. I love it. It just plug and play. Literally, just that easy. Or just as easy as connecting a Windows laptop or any other Windows peripheral. It just works like that. Some things that I didn't get a chance to test that I'm thinking about testing, let me know in the comments if this sounds interesting to you. Since it's Windows, I want to know if I can play VR titles off of this thing. Like, let me put Super Hot VR, or better yet, I don't have high hopes for this one, but better yet, Half-Life Alyx on the Steam Deck Windows Edition. Plug in, I've got the peripherals, plug in my Oculus, and let's see. Let's just see what happens. I'm curious. There's a lot of application here. I think this could be a valid way to use it for work. I don't know if I want to subject myself to that level of torture for a week, but I've thought about just taking a week and using this as my computer instead of using my actual laptop. I'll watch my Twitch streams, I'll edit my videos, I'll do my work in this setup. I'm still going to use the monitor, the keyboard, and the mouse. I'm not going to try to do it off the small screen, but basically this is the computer. Is that something you guys would like to see? I'm really curious how well it would do, because I have the cheapest Steam Deck you can get, the 64 gig LCD. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. Who knows? Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it, commenting, and please subscribe. We are so close to 1,000 subs. I really, really want to hit that by the end of the year, and life has kept me busy, and I haven't posted as regularly as I need to. I know it's on me, but nonetheless, it would still mean a lot if we could hit that 1,000. That 1,000 would be incredible. I'd love that. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Hey, if you did enjoy this, or if you found it interesting, if you know someone that is maybe considering getting an ROG Ally because they don't want to use SteamOS, maybe people are just someone that's interested in the handheld gaming / PC market, or someone who knows nothing about this but is trying to get into gaming, consider sharing this with them. I think they'd get a kick out of it. It would really help me out. I do appreciate it. And like we said earlier in the video, I am going to be at Reach Conference in Orlando coming up on the September 6th and 7th. If you're not there, you're square. I know that's old. Yeah, boo, boo. I know. If you're not there, you won't get a chance to meet me, but also you won't get a chance to meet hundreds of other incredible creators that are going to be in that space as well. I have a code. Use it, get your free tickets. That gets you your admission both days until they're gone. I only have so many free codes left, so use it till it's gone. But that gets you in both days, as well as your lunch and your dinner for both days. Would love for as many of you that can to make your way there. Would love to have you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. I'll see you in the next video. Toodles.